Peace, family. Peace. I pray that all is well. I have my mic set up here on this desk, so we're gonna see how this goes. This video is coming right back off of the video I just made about reading and doggy earing your books, because in that video, if you go back and watch that video, in that video, I said that I found something in one of those books that I want to make a video about. Right. And what I found was something that I noted down in my How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's a note that I wrote on the top of my card. That I wrote on my card that I have, like my bookmark. I use these little cards for the bookmark. And it's this: don't compartmentalize your discipline. Right. So, a good while ago, a few months ago, I think the end of last year, really, towards the end of last year, around November, it feels like around that time. Around that time at the end of the year, I was just really getting into a more serious practice in my religion and my faith, right? And I was going to the gym. I started going to the gym beginning of January 2022, and so towards the end of 2022, I'm still going to the gym. I'm still working out, right? I'm still, I'm getting more active and more involved in my temple, and so I'm really just getting involved in everything and working and things like that. But I still was dealing with financial struggle. It's like I couldn't be disciplined with my finances. I was disciplined going to the gym. I was disciplined in my faith. I was disciplined in so many different areas, having my daily routine set out, right? I had a daily routine at that time. Wake up, do this, do this, do this, do this, all set out. I was disciplined in all of those aspects. But I felt like I could not have I was just unable, or to have any kind of financial discipline. And I'm still building on it. I'm still working on it. I'm better than I was. But I didn't grow up being taught how to be financially disciplined. So it's something I'm really having to teach myself with everything I'm reading and learn and apply. And it's just a process, right? So, but one day I was taking care of myself, going to the barber. I cut all my hair out, so I stopped going to the barber. But I was taking care of myself. I had I had waves, and I was going to the barber, and I would get it faded, and I would get the beard faded into it. And anyways, I'm at the barber, and I run into my old high school counselor. Right. And in high school, I was a part of this club. Schools got the school clubs. So I was in this school club that was called Young Men Building a Dynasty. What it was teaching African American boys how to be upright, independent, and fearless, how to be men. Boys that grew up without having any kind of guidance or leadership, learning guidance. Back then when I was doing it, I was just lost. So I was just a part of the group because all my friends were a part of the group. But I was really lost. I really wasn't applying what it was that they were teaching. But I did learn, and I did retain a lot of the stuff. And so the guy that was the head of the group, I always remember, man, I still got his number. I want to reach out to him. But I saw him there at the barbershop that day, a few months ago. And we sat down and we had a conversation. And I told him how much I appreciated his work, because I turned my own life around. I was going through a lot of stuff. I was in the whole degenerate nature of high school and what a lot of people in my generation do. I was in all that degenerateness, right? And so when I was in the club, I was still engulfed in that stuff and wasn't allowing myself to fully be a part of this club. However, looking back, I'm thinking about how important that really was for me and for all the young men that were there. So when I'm speaking to him in the barbershop and I'm expressing to him how I had turned my life around, I got in tune with my religion, I got in tune with the gym, I got in tune with cleaning up my speech, right? Not using so much profanity and all of these things. Got my daily routine going. And I said, man, I just can't get my financial state really together. And I said, I'm doing good. I'm above the water, but I'm not where I want to be. And he said, well, you already know what you need to do. He said, you are already able. You already have what it takes. You already have what's necessary to get your finances together. He said, you look at the discipline that you got in the gym. Look at the discipline that you have with your daily routine, right? Look at the discipline that you have with your religion. He said, I don't know anyone that is your age that is truly desiring and trying to change themselves and do things for the better for themselves. And do what you're doing with your religion and the discipline in the gym and things like that. He said, you got what it takes. But he said, don't compartmentalize your discipline. Don't compartmentalize your discipline. Don't just be disciplined over here, but not disciplined across the board. Have discipline across the board. Have discipline in all areas. The same kind of discipline you learned in the gym, apply it to your finances. The same kind of motivation you have in the gym, apply it to your finances. The same kind of willpower you have in the gym, apply it to your finances. The same kind of discipline that you have in religion, apply it to your finances. The same kind of motivation that you have in your religion, apply it to your finances. The same kind of willpower that you have in your religion, apply it to your finances. The same kind of discipline that you have in your schedule, apply it to your finances. The same kind of motivation you have in your schedule, apply it to your finances. The same kind of willpower you have in your schedule, apply it to your finances. The same kind of discipline you have in your food, in your diet, apply it to your finances. The same kind of motivation you have in your diet, apply it to your finances. The same kind of willpower you have in your diet, apply it to your finances. Be disciplined across the board. Don't compartmentalize your discipline, because you already have what it takes. You don't need to pull from anything else. You don't need to go out and find or learn some new tactic or some new skill or some new trick or some new secret. You already have the discipline within yourself, right? Yes, you can learn about finances, learn good ways to be disciplined, learn good strategies, learn a good system, right? Because there's a goal, but you won't achieve the goal without a good system, right? There's a goal, but you won't achieve the goal without good faith. If you don't really believe in it, if you don't identify with that goal, you may put action towards it for a little while, but then you fall off because it's not a part of your identity. So you have to have the identity and you have to have the system. So definitely learn about those things. But the application of it is within you. The same way you learn about the gym and then you pull it out and you pull the discipline from out within you. You learn about money and finances and you pull the discipline out from within you. And we sat and talked in that barbershop, man, and that's just a message now that I would like to share and give to you all is don't compartmentalize your discipline. Have discipline across the board. It's difficult. I know. This is something that I'm still applying. This is something that I'm still working on and still getting together. But just understand that. Keep standing back up and walking forward, right? The wise man continues from his first period, but the fool is always beginning. So find a system that works. Understand your identity. Apply that system and keep pushing and keep making keep making corrections, but don't wipe yourself clean and start fresh every time. Cause you're gonna keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and lose your identity. And you'll be found in nothing. Right? When you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. So it's understanding you standing for something, being found in something. Right? On top of that, don't compartmentalize your discipline. When he said that to me and I was writing down the quote like I did on this, I wrote it somewhere else. And when I was writing discipline, I accidentally wrote discernment, right? Which is your judgment. Don't compartmentalize your judgment. Don't just be aware over here, but then drop your guard over there. Always be observing, always be discerning, always be aware and conscious of your thoughts, always be aware and conscious of your environment, always be aware and conscious of what's going on. And these two to me go hand in hand. Don't compartmentalize your judgment, right? Don't compartmentalize your discernment, and don't compartmentalize your discipline. Because you will be able to discern when you come up to say you're trying to build a good habit, and the habit is you're gonna read a book every night before bed, and so it comes up bedtime, and you're like, man, I don't feel like reading that book. So your discernment is going to say, I've said I was gonna read this book versus I don't want to read this book, right? Your discernment is gonna say, I was gonna read this book, I don't feel like reading this book. You told yourself you're gonna read this book, so you need to read this book. So your discernment, your judgment is choosing to read the book, and your discipline is doing it, right? Because you can choose something in your mind and then not act on it, and you lose discipline. But if you're not using discernment in that moment, and you're not discerning between the two, then you've lost your judgment, right? You gave up your judgment. And when you give up your judgment, you give up your discipline. Right? So I wanted to share this message with you all because it was something that really changed my life. It's something that really changed my mindset. And so this is something that younger me could have used. And so those out there that may be in the same boat or in a boat similar to that, where maybe not just finances, but there's something that you just feel like you just cannot be disciplined in. But you can be disciplined in every other aspect and all these other things. You say, man, I can be disciplined in the gym, but I just can't get my finances right. Then understand that you already have what it takes within you. You don't need to be pulling outside of yourself. You already have everything that it takes within you. Just learn the game. Learn the right things. Learn the game of it and apply it. Because you have that discipline within you. And I'm hearing myself talking. I'm talking right to myself right now. So, with that being said, I appreciate you coming by for another video. Peace.